So this is the story, guys. I'm in Neiman's and I'm going through the Bvlgari fragrances. They've got the entire line there. And you guys know the fancy bottles, for instance, with Bvlgari Tiger. Black bottle, gold trim, really beautiful. They all have different colored tops. And all of a sudden, I'm trying all of them. And for whatever reason, I come back to this fragrance every single time. And it's not even in the main line. We're going to talk about it. Strap up. Welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the afternoon. Actually, matter of fact, let me call a guest in here to give me my intro. Miles, get over here. Talk into this mic right here. Give us our intro.
Welcome back to the Scent Bubble, and today we are going to do Man in Black
From Bvlgari.
from Bvlgari.
All right. Go sit down, man.
Bye.
There's my little scent bubble, guys. There's one of my boys.
I'm
That's
right here in the corner.
Yeah, he's in the corner of the screen right there.
No, on the other side.
There we
Right
go.
there.
All right, guys. Anyway, we're going to keep it going. Listen, from the House of Bvlgari, this fragrance is Man in Black. Now, I currently ordered my bottle of this, so that gives away a little bit of how I feel about the fragrance. But I was speaking before and letting you guys know that normally you catch a bottle of Bvlgari fragrances that look something like so. Switch windows here. Normally, you go into Neiman's and all the Bvlgari fragrances, for the most part, look like this. I don't know which line this is, but this the line they're known for. And they all have like different colored tops here that are pretty cool. Some are like marble and whatnot. But I came across this one, and this has I think like a 3 or 4 fragrance pack in the line. But I am a big fan of this one. This is Man in Black. I went ahead and put an order in for it. And it was surprising because, you know, a lot of people like Tiger. A lot of people like some of the others. But Tiger seems to get the most mention. And I think that just has to do with the clone market. A lot of people are, you know, like Tiger. And, you know, the clone market kind of resurges the interest in the search of Tiger. And so just Bvlgari in general, I think, is recognized largely due to the clone game in terms of like resurgence and stuff like that. But, you know, in the niche world, as we call it, you know, with their noses up, they all know Bvlgari. You just I don't see a lot of talk about them online except for maybe Tiger. But anyway, this is Man in Black, and there's a couple different versions. So I'll show you what the bottle looks like because I think they have an eau de parfum and parfum concentrate. I don't really care which one you guys get. This one is nice. It is sexy. It is super masculine. It's not too playful. It is maybe upscale casual, semi-formal, formal, but I think it sits somewhere between semi-formal and formal. But I think you can dress it down. It smells expensive, and man, you get a lot of juice. The bottle presentation is amazing. I'm going out of order here because you guys know I already enjoy the fragrance, but yeah, it was love at first sniff for me. I want to walk a little bit through the technical information of this fragrance just so you guys can get a more well-rounded opinion for those who might not be interested in this fragrance for certain reasons. But my initial impressions were at Neiman's, so this will be my second initial impression on my test strip, which has been on the road now for about an hour. So I wanted to kind of see some dry down performance. And the only reason I didn't put it on skin was because I have a ton of fragrances walking away from Neiman's, and I was already wearing my scent of the day, which was Mancera's Vetiver Sensual. So we weren't going to waste that juice. We're going to keep that on skin. Second impression, though, of this is essentially kind of like a hyper-masculine oriental fragrance, not necessarily fougere, but has fougere elements, but it's more of a sexy, masculine, warm, spicy, sweet type of fragrance. It's not overly sweet at all. I love this fragrance because for that reason. You know, with a lot of sweet fragrances, They tend to ramp up and lead with sweet and accent with character. This one is like all character accented with sweet. Still good amount of sweet in there, maybe like a 4 out of 10, but it's dressed up with so much nice complexity. It has a classicness to it. It has a timelessness to it. And I personally don't get a lot of kind of slightly fougere, warm, spicy, sweet, vanillic, rummy renditions that are toned down. Normally they're all like pretty solid gourmand or holiday fragrances or cold weather fragrances. This is dialed down to be more any season, any reason. I almost liken it to maybe half the sweetness of an angel share, but still in the vein of it, but then classed up with woods and tobacco and earthy elements to just make it super masculine. There's no question that this is for men. But again, that sweetness has an element women would find super alluring. So anyway, my initial thoughts on this is warm, spicy, sweet, super masculine, classy. Let's go ahead and go to the board here to look at some stats. This bottle is girthy, guys. I mean, like, it's a rectangular bottle, but I mean, it's extremely thick. Like, the width of this bottle is a little bit like where you don't feel like you have a full grasp of it when you hold it. You know, it's quite a wide bottle presentation. And it is just beefy, man. Like, it's nice though. Like, it smells the part that it looks. And I just love interesting bottle presentations because normally, you know, this is just a rectangular bottle here, but the way they've dressed it up, the way they kind of over proportioned certain areas, you know what I'm saying? Like with the tiny cap on the top, but the super elongated bottle, but then the trim gold sliver is pushed way up it, like it, you know, like a skirt or something. It's just really admirable aesthetic for me. I was really impressed with the bottle presentation. It was a bottle that just visually you want to have in your collection. But as you guys can see, some of the notes here, we're going to go down to more of the specifics. This is spices, rum, and tobacco up top. Super smooth though, not harsh at all. No bitter spice, no overly spiced rum, no overly harsh brushed dusted tobacco. This is smooth pipe tobacco. This is smooth rum. I wouldn't liken this rum to something like Bentley for Men Intense. It's not like that at all. This is a smoother rum. This rum translates closer to the cognac note in Angel Share. We've got that kind of holiday spice in there, more along the lines of Spice Bomb-esque vibes. But then look at what's going on in the mid here. We got the leather to classy it up. We've got the iris to add that complexity, that slight brush of powder. It works really well with the tobacco. It's a floral accent, so it kind of puts a fresher overtone on that dense spice, rum, and tobacco. And then tuberose, I don't really know what it's doing with the fragrance, but it's certainly, I think, adding to the freshness at the very least. And then in the base, we have tonka bean, guaiac wood, and benzoin. So this thing pushes. I personally wouldn't say that this fragrance is like, it's definitely not nuclear. It's definitely not beast mode. I think it's going to be moderate to high performance though. The projection is probably, it feels to be very 3 feet-ish with projection. The sillage is light, but it is lingering, if that makes sense, because you're dealing with sweet notes, so it'll stick on stuff. And but it is seductive. You know, it's not so loud that people will get in your vicinity and then gravitate towards you to want to talk to you. This is like masculine, upscale class, but then has the alluring benefits of something like a Spice Bomb or Noir Extreme type of fragrance. It's a bit more masculine and toned down from a Noir or Noir Extreme or Spice Bomb, but I actually love that because I feel like those fragrances lead with sweet and then dress it up around with accent, whereas this one leads with masculine and then dresses it up with the spices and the rum and the tobacco in the background. So that sweet, though it's there, has a more smoother, rounded out overtone. Absolutely love a fragrance like this. Just to go through some of the usual suspects for you, I think a fragrance like this is dead center any season, any reason. It has most of its personality in cold weather, I feel, just due to the sweetness and the tobacco and things like that. Again, imagine a much higher quality of a Lamal Elixir, which you guys know I don't really rock with JPG, but if I had to, I think Lamal Elixir is masterful and well made. This is like Lamal Elixir's like super rich cousin, if that makes sense, just to get your nose in the DNA of it. But I do think that it is any season, any reason. The leather note here isn't pronounced enough to turn off people who don't like leather. It's subdued. It's not the star of the show. It's there, but it's there to provide that masculine grounding. Whereas if it wasn't there with the woods, it would feel more angel sherry, which is more unisex, which I would actually argue is more feminine leaning. But thank God for that cognac alcohol note that kind of just gives it that edginess that it needs. I'm a big fan of this fragrance, guys. I'm calling it a 9 out of 10. And that might change to a 10 out of 10 once I actually spend like a week with this fragrance. I put my nose to this fragrance. I've tried it on, but not a lot. You know, I would say I've probably had a wearing experience with this about 3 or 4 times at this point. So I feel confident in reviewing it, but giving a fragrance a 10 out of 10 for me is a bit of a push here, just because I feel like it is not insanely signature. You know, there's so many DNAs this will remind you of, but it's just masterfully done in that case. But I think 9 is without question blind rating for me. I can easily give this a 9 out of 10. And again, that might go up in the future. So I might revisit it if during my wearing experiences in different environments and stuff, I feel like it really pushes into a more signature category. But it's very distinct. It's very masculine. You know, it gets an A for uniqueness and weaving a couple of different concepts together. I mean, what guy doesn't like kind of a slight gourmand, Angel Share-esque DNA, Spice Bomb DNA, Noir Extreme DNA, Jean-Paul Gaultier DNA? Those are so beautiful. And to see that done in a more masculine way for someone like me makes it even more wearable. If you guys are into tobacco fragrances, to me, this beats Tobacco Vanille. It blows my mind how many people praise Tobacco Vanille, and then when it comes to things like Lamal Elixir and Noir Extreme and all this stuff, they feel like it's lesser. And I really don't understand that. I mean, I think it's such a linear fragrance, that Tom Ford. Tobacco Vanille is nice. It's very beautiful, but it's also very simple. You have to just be really into those accords to really, I think, call that a 10 out of 10 fragrance. But this is better, guys. Just trust me on this. If you like any of those fragrances I named, you will super appreciate this rendition to those accord and profiles. Again, strong 9 out of 10, possible 10 out of 10. Any season, any reason, but I do think it does have a slight lean towards cold weather. Age-wise, we're going to go... I'm going to say ageless. And if you're above age of a teenager, so let's just call it 20 and up, this is for you. This is your classic man with slight seduction vibes. This will fit in anything, guys. Upscale casual, dinner in a movie, regular, restaurant dinner, date night, special event, special occasion, suited up, collared down, turtlenecked up. You know what I'm saying? It's everything. It's not so romantic. It's dialed right in the middle of like romantic and serious upscale. So it's just like you don't have to play it in the date romantic nightlife arena. You can wear it during the day and it's going to wear more like a Jean-Paul Lamal Elixir and feel a little fresher and lighter. So guys, give this a go, man. It's awesome. I think the price point on something like this, definitely don't pay retail. I'm showing like, I think the lowest I've seen this fragrance for 100 ml is like 80, 90 bucks on Fragrance by CA. Matter of fact, let me just double check that. I don't always like to list prices on my videos because that kind of tarnishes the video if later like it drops in price crazy or something. Now my video's misquoting the price. But yeah, I'm showing 90 for 100 ml. You know, retail is going to be much higher than that. But guys, just go to the discounters. You'll find it for a great price. Is it 100 ml bottle worthy? For me, yes. For the DNA itself, you can certainly try and go with a half size, but it's money well spent for 90 bucks on a 100 ml bottle and to the bottle presentation that you get. I think it's totally worth the money, guys. But as far as this DNA, I definitely think you need more than a travel spray of it. So 50 and up's appropriate. We went through the use cases, alternatives. You know, it's tough, you know, because in the alternative side, as far as affordable fragrances, it feels like somewhat of a cross of a few different fragrances that come to my mind. Jesus de Pozo's Halloween Man Shot, Drakkar Intense, the newer, more ambery version, Bentley for Men Intense, Angel Share. It's all those fragrances in one. I think there's even a Lamal Elixir clone out, Lionheart or Kingdom, I forget which one. So those are kind of the arena of alternatives if you're into a DNA like this, but I truly think for 90 bucks, it's totally worth it. You guys are certainly aware, you know, are in the ballpark of spending at least 90 bucks for a fragrance these days if you're into any level of designer, and this is certainly cream of the crop in terms of designer. But from, I mean, Bvlgari has to be a niche brand, I'd imagine. But anyways, like, comment, and subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell so you can figure out all the frequent times that we're posting content, which we're doing a lot. Thank you so much for the support. Channel's blowing up. Channel's moving in a great direction. Guys, I can't even begin to describe to you guys the amount of new content coming into play soon. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Miles, the mic's over here. Do you have any final words for the group? Okay.
Logging out of the scent bubble. Bye-bye.
Okay, guys. Y'all have a blessed week. Miles, you can come over here to get in the camera. Yeah, again, like Miles said, guys, I hope y'all have a blessed week. Let me know in the comments if you tried this fragrance. Again, this is a review on Bvlgari's Man in Black. And I don't care if you get the Eau de Parfum or possibly an EDT if they have it. But I showed you the bottle, so you should know. Have a blessed week, guys. Until next time, this is the Scent Bubble. Peace.